Are you feeling overwhelmed by homeschool planning or record keeping? I get it. I have absolutely been there in my 14 plus years of homeschooling. The good news is, over the years, I've learned that it doesn't have to be that way. It's just a matter of having the right tools on hand to make all of this run a lot more smoothly. Today, I want to introduce you to one of those tools. I'm Emily from Table Life Blog, and before I introduce you to our sponsor, Homeschool Planet, I want to tell you that it is totally fine if you really like using a paper and pencil planner. It's even fine if you like just having a regular notebook and jotting down your lesson plans. You can absolutely do that. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I've done it before. But what I've learned over the years is that a paper and pencil planning system, or even an online DIY option, will only take you so far. That's because there's not really a way to provide the documentation you might need for, co-ops or transcripts or attendance records. You don't really have a way to do that when you are doing these, paper and pencil planners, or if you're doing some other DIY that you've come up with on your own. It's really difficult to make sure that you have the proper documentation to present should you be asked. So, while a paper planner or a DIY planner can get the job done on a planning level, there's a lot of ways that it just really can't take care of you. That's not the case with Homeschool Planet. Here's why it stands out in the sea of homeschool planning and record keeping options. First of all, Homeschool Planet makes it super easy to set up your schedule and then to add your homeschool plans from there. For example, if you are like us and you have kind of an unconventional homeschool schedule, you can make that work with Homeschool Planet. We currently school from Tuesday to Saturday, but not on Monday, which is when a traditional school week would start. You are not going to find a typical Tuesday through Saturday plan or schedule in any printed planner. It just doesn't exist. And it's not really something you're going to see in a lot of online options. But with Homeschool Planet, I can customize my plan, and you can customize yours to reflect your family's unique schedule. From there, you just add in the actual lesson plans that you need to add to your homeschool plan for each individual child. One thing I really, really love about this is that they have the homeschool lesson plan marketplace. And while you can go in and individually add lessons, you don't have to. So for example, learning language arts through literature. If you're familiar with this fantastic language arts curriculum, you know that the way the weeks are set up, you have lesson 29, for example. That's just the one I opened up to here. You would have lesson 29, day 1, and then day 2, and then day 3, and day 4. And all of that can get really repetitive to enter day by day by day by day. But by simply subscribing to the Learning Language Arts Through Literature TAN book, I can get the lesson plan through Homeschool Planet, and it automatically integrates all of that into my homeschool plans with just the click of a button. And should I change anything, it's easy to customize and to go back and reset it. So that is such a huge help because I don't have to go in and manually enter all of these individual lessons. And the great thing about that is they are adding different curricula to the marketplace all the time. So just because they don't have something right now doesn't mean they won't have it a week from now or 2 weeks from now. I know every time I look back at that marketplace, it is expanding. So I'm pretty sure we're almost to the point where you're never going to have to add anything individually. Not quite there, but we're pretty close. So all that to say, the actual lesson planning part is so easy, and it is a game changer when it comes to your homeschool planning. In addition to the actual lesson planning, Homeschool Planet stands out because there is literally nothing out there that makes documentation this easy. Now, you could have to present forms for a co-op, or maybe you need to present transcripts for scholarships or dual enrollment or even graduation. You may have to produce attendance records for your local school system. There's a lot of different reasons why you might need homeschool records. It's not always easy to produce those. And the great thing about Homeschool Planet is you can generate all of those standard school forms so quickly and so easily, and they look really nice. And the great thing is you don't have to do the research to learn what needs to go on a transcript or what needs to go on an official attendance record. It's all in there, and it's done with such excellence that you can just rest easy and let it do all the work for you. So Homeschool Planet allows you to generate, print, and get those forms wherever they need to go, and then you don't have to worry about the admin part of it anymore. It's taken care of for you. So it absolutely stands out because there's definitely not a notebook out there that can handle that kind of thing for you. And finally, another cool thing you need to know about Homeschool Planet is that it integrates household planning. And that's really helpful because let's be honest, as parents, we've always got other things on our minds. We might be helping with math, but we're also thinking about things that are going on later in the week or maybe even later in the day that have to do with the family or the household. And so now you can also have all of that stuff living in one place, but it's not necessarily in the way. They have all these really cool widgets that you can add to the plan, and you can customize those. So you can have your shopping list, you could have a to-do list, you could have your weather sitting there. It's all just stuff that has to do with life happening around you. And it's just there and accessible for you any given time you're using Homeschool Planet. Now, one thing I do want to mention specifically about the lists, I think this is so cool. They have it set up to where you can go and just, add a thing to your shopping list if it pops up into your mind. Or let's say you're entering science lesson details and you realize you're going to need supplies for one of those lessons. You can just type those into the shopping list and you can send yourself a text or an email whenever you're ready, and then you've got that little reminder. You could also just use that to keep up with groceries as they come to mind that you're going to need the next time you go to the store. And again, if it just comes to mind while you are randomly planning, it's okay. You have added the thing to the list and you can go on with your business, doing what you were doing, and still make sure that you don't forget that the next time you go to the store because it's there in your ongoing list. It's super cool and I love that. You can also send those lists to other people in your family once you enter those to your Homeschool Planet dashboard. So it's really cool how it's got all of these household things integrated. Now that you know a little bit about Homeschool Planet, I encourage you to hop over to their website and check out their free 30-day trial. I know you are going to love it. They make it super easy to set up your plan and to test it out. I think you're going to find that this is a game changer when it comes to planning and record keeping and tracking and all of those things that come with homeschooling. Better yet, I know that you are going to love having all of this on autopilot so that you can thrive in the upcoming homeschool year. It really is a game changer. Now, that's all for me today. Until next time, happy homeschooling.